Public speaking is one of those things that most people dread, and I would consider myself one of those people a little while ago. But last year, I made a conscious effort to make sure that I was doing as many of these opportunities as possible to try and grow some confidence in public speaking. I think it's something that a lot of content creators probably do struggle with because when we're doing something like this, for example, I'm alone in my comfort space talking to a camera. This is not public speaking, and I think maybe some audiences expect content creators to naturally be really good at public speaking, but being in this scenario, in the comfort of your own space, is very different to doing it in front of a massive crowd. But I pretty much just wanted to come on here and give you a bit of my experience and some tips for yourself if your goal in 2025 is to get better at public speaking. If you're new around here, I'll give you a little bit of background. So I've been a content creator since 2012 and a full-time streamer since 2016, I think. So I've been doing face to camera for a very long time. But in terms of public speaking, prior to this last year, I didn't have a lot of experience. There were a few occasions where I got on stage and did certain things because of my content creation journey, but I'll be honest, they weren't pretty. Last year, I wanted to make a conscious effort to build those skills so that I'm not just a Twitch streamer. There were a couple of major events that I did last year that relied on me actually talking out loud with a microphone in public, and there were 3 Red Bull events. The first opportunity was Red Bull Homeground, and this was a Valorant tournament on stage in New Zealand and on broadcast. This was the opportunity that I was the most afraid of because it seemed like there was a lot on the line, obviously an entire production team, a broadcast, people in person potentially seeing me crash and burn. But putting myself out there in that instance definitely set me up to be more comfortable in the later events, which one was Game Ball Royale, which required some on-stage pre-event stuff, and then the actual event itself having like post-game interviews, pre-game interviews, and all that. And lastly, I spoke at RMIT, a university in Melbourne, about my experience as a content creator, one-on-one, just me with an interviewer and a microphone. But this video is not so much about those specific events and more what I pulled from them and the tips that I would give you. My first tip is simply to be prepared because your number one fear is that you're probably gonna mess up, right? There's no way to ensure that there's absolutely zero mishaps, and mistakes definitely happen even by seasoned professionals. But a good way to help mitigate the chances of mishaps, I suppose, is to be as prepared as possible. If it's a presentation or something that is scripted, obviously you can just read over that 1,000 times, do it in the mirror, do it to people that you're comfortable around, and just get it just sunk into your brain. If it's not something scripted and something that's a little more casual, the thing that I try to remember if I've been asked to do some kind of Q&A or an interview, I worry like, what if they ask me something that I don't know the answer to? But the interviewer or the person asking you the questions is going to be asking you questions based upon your experience or your job or whatever it is. You're an expert in whatever it is you're talking about, most likely. So it's probably not going to be something out of your wheelhouse. And to be honest, in that kind of situation, if there is a question that's posed to you that you don't know the answer to or you're not comfortable answering, you can just say that. If it makes you feel more comfortable though, it might be worth rehearsing some kind of response to a question you're not comfortable with or that you don't know the answer to. The second tip that I'll give you is that you don't appear as nervous as you feel. Now, obviously you are going to be feeling your heart rate increase, you getting sweaty or clammy, dry mouth, but everybody else in the room can't feel that. Sure, you might appear a little bit nervous on the surface. We've all seen people that are visibly anxious, but it is by no means as intense as it feels to yourself. So try to remember that when things get intense. I certainly felt all of those things and I was drinking water by the freaking gallon because I had the driest mouth. So keep a little bit of water on hand, but just remember to breathe and that not everybody is feeling what you're feeling. My next tip is to keep in mind that the people in the audience or in the crowd want you to succeed. I feel like I'd be comfortable saying like 99% of people in the audience want the person on stage, presenting, doing an interview, whatever, to do well. They're not wanting you to fail. They want the experience to be positive for everybody. So remember that. And my final tip is to not confuse nervousness with excitement. Obviously, you're going to be feeling nervous, but you're definitely feeling a lot of excitement as well. And the thing about nervousness is it may feel like a negative emotion because it can make you literally feel sick to your stomach. But the thing about nervousness is it means that you really care about what you're about to do. So if you are feeling sick to your stomach, so freaking nervous, it just means that this event, this public speaking thing that you're about to do, really means a lot to you. And honestly, that is something to celebrate. Having something that you are so passionate about, that you really want to succeed in, that's really special. And in my experience, honestly, I have felt every single range of emotions leading up to things like this. I literally had an event that I was speaking at on stage. It was one of my first ones a few years ago where I had like a full-blown panic attack, and I think it was probably my first actual panic attack. And that was kind of the catalyst to being like, okay, I need to work on these skills. I would like to build this skill base and get way better at this because it's so much fun when you do it. You may feel like you are about to shit your pants when you're getting on stage, but the second that you start speaking, all the nervousness just drops away. The anticipation and the fear of the unknown ahead of the event is miles worse than anything once you start opening your mouth. Once you're on that stage, yapping away, it feels amazing and it's so fun and it goes so quick. And I can guarantee you when you get off that stage, you're gonna be like, I wanna do that again, that was amazing. And then when you sign up for that thing again next time, you will definitely feel a whole range of emotions again ahead of the event with the anticipation, but it does get a little easier each time. But don't let that stop you from trying. I mean, worst case scenario, you bomb and people remember it for like a little bit and then they probably don't give a crap anymore. So absolute worst case scenario might happen, but if you're prepared, if you maybe keep these things in mind, hopefully you'll feel a little better. But that's where the video is going to end for today. I really hope this was helpful. I want to share more of my experience and kind of go in unscripted and just see where it takes us. I'd love to know if you want to see more videos like this down in the comments, but hopefully I'll see you in my next video or in my next stream. Bye.